Hi, happy Saturday. I want to share one tip if you start on a new job. The first week, or I can say the first month or a few months, are very crucial. This was happened to me maybe like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago when I first start on an IT job, information system back then. Um, anyway, this guy that hired me, the manager, actually, he wanted to test me out. He actually did not give me an actual job to do, so he wanted me to write a program to do something, and then I guess it can be how good you are, or if you can do it officially. But anyway, after I wrote the program, that program actually took a long time and took a lot of resources, CPU and the memory, in which I didn't know it wasn't on the it was on the mini mainframe back then, which is and he called me up and he said, probably unfortunately he called me up and he told me I should have gone and talked to him about this and all of that. But again, I didn't realize that I wasn't be careful enough, that I didn't pay attention when the program was running slow, and then I let it run or whatever, and he came to me and he said your program was running pretty slow, and actually he wasn't impressed, and of course that did not work out. And he could have told me that I should have go talk to him if there's any issues and all of that before I implemented it. But anyway, I might overlooked, or I might neglect the performance issue. So anyway, I guess my tip is that they definitely they're gonna test you out. Maybe they if they gave you a little bit of training, that was good. But now just be very careful of what you do. If you have any questions at all that you think it might be a problem, might cause problem, don't do it. Go talk to them first. Again, they might they can be a double edges, because they might think that you're not good enough, or they're nice enough to point you to the direction so you don't make huge mistake like what I did. So I think that's tip number one. Be careful. Make sure to double check your work thoroughly. If you have any questions at all, talk to them first before you complete the assignment. So that's number one. Be very careful, because that can dictate either they're gonna keep you there or they're gonna let you go. Hope that makes sense. Please share your experience. We all make mistakes, so this is part of working. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't, but I want to make sure that you're prepared, you're aware, and you be very mindful and careful, especially the first few weeks or the first few months. Again, even after that, the first few months, if you mess something up, that you become complacent and you mess up something, they can still let you go. So number two is communication. Make sure, it also happened to me, maybe some other job, that well, actually recently, that I did not inform of the progress of a project regularly, and then they thought that and then when they come talk to you, oh, is it done yet? You say, oh, I'm still working on it, and that can be a problem if you don't give your manager it can be daily, whatever, or like I say, if you have any issues, something delayed, because the manager might want it to get it done quickly, or maybe he just he can single you out, like, hey, I want to see if this guy can put it out or whatever. He might give you a difficult assignment too. So if that's the case, then you need to communicate better, and if you have any questions at all, make sure that you both on the same page. If it's gonna take longer, you have to explain to him why and all of that stuff. So it's also crucial the first few weeks or first few months to communicate. I would say communicate daily through email or whatnot, or even if if a few days and you haven't made any progress, I will call up the meeting with the manager and go and go over what happened instead of waiting for like a week or two, and your manager got restless that he wondering, what's going on. So communication, even face to face or email regularly, especially at the end of the project. Okay, association meaning it's about your team, your new team, because you started. Not everyone in the team is willing to help you, so that can be a problem. And if you push them, you might cause some friction in the team, because like me, I want to get things done fast, but not everyone want to help you out. So and I had experience where some people, they're not happy, they're not willing to help you. So that's can be a little tricky, because you can't really go to the manager too much. I mean, you can say that you're waiting for this guy to help you and all of that, so that can be a problem. Your team is also important, your environment. If your environment is not supportive, that kind of make your life a little bit more difficult. So I would say, communication, and keep them some space. If do not push them every day, on top of your team member, because they might not like it. Especially these people been there for years. I can see it in their face that they're a little pissed off that you try to get them to help you, to get something on their end. That's a difficult thing, especially your team. If your team are not supportive, or they're not willing to help, or they have other things. So again, talk to your manager about any delay because of other team member. It can happen. Okay, and see what he said. Again, try not to make any cause any frictions with other members because you complain about him not helping you. So let's get a little sensitive and tricky. So maybe some other folks can chime in, but definitely talk to your manager if there's anything that delay, or you need him to maybe have some other options for you, or he can say, oh, don't worry about it, we'll work on other projects. So anyway, if your manager is reasonable, he should be able to point you to the right directions without causing problems between you and other members. So working with other people can be pretty, like I say, depending on environment, can be pretty challenging. And I've learned to use, to improve my communication. It means that how do you talk, when do you talk, and all of that stuff, and what information would you give to share, all of that. It's, to me, it can be art versus science. In terms of communication, it can be like art. So you can see some people are better than others, but it didn't mean that they're bad. It might be that that's how they communicate, and you have to be patient, be mindful, and be nice. Do not cause any friction, or we call it create enemy. One enemy is bad enough. And I had my share of I would say, maybe make somebody anger or whatnot. And I worked with this guy, and he wanted me to always consult with him because he been there longer, and of course this company been hiring a lot of people, other manager, other team, and I spend more time with other team, and he didn't like it because I did not consult him, get him approved. I mean, in general, he want to be involved in everything, and I didn't know that, and he actually become pretty mean to me after that, because how come you talk to the other team but not me, and say, because the other team actually assign me jobs, so I want to be close to them, talk to them, and again, maybe I was overconfident. Again, you cannot be overconfident. You always have to make sure, especially if you work with another guy and he's senior, you want to always make sure he know about it, he approve it. Again, it's communication, and communication even with your own team, okay? Not just your manager. And actually, it might be better to actually check with him, or share any issue before you go up to the manager. Because if you consider this guy he's a more senior, he's in your team, so you respect him at a more senior. So I did not do that because I like working on my own, so it can be problematic in the work environment, especially in the new environment, because things get complicated or things get delayed. and if there's any issue, they might not want to help you. Actually, they might blame you. So I got into that problem too. So hope that helps. Next tip is that when you have a, I'm talking about a good size project. This might be very common sense, but you want to plan it out every step from step A to step Z to make sure you don't miss anything. I always do that. And then if you have any question or problem, just talk to your manager or your team member. Your team member probably to me is the number one goal, to go to first. Okay, because you don't want to miss anything. You want to show that you put a lot of thought into any project, and you should have some sort of procedure or process in place. Okay, not just jump into it. Okay, I did that, of course, in the past, and it didn't work out very well either. Because along the way you come up with issue or some new things that you haven't thought about, and that could cause you a delay, or it might force you to change your way of doing it, or your plan. So project management, laid it out, write out the procedure, have your team member validate your procedure. I think it's very tremendously gonna help you out. Okay, so because you want to maintain good quality and you don't want to miss anything, that means it's bad on you, and it might waste you a lot of time. It might aggravate you, so it doesn't help you or the team. So have procedure in place, plan it out, have your team members approve it. It can be verbally, things like that, or just have them 1 or 2 minutes, have them look at it, email it, say, hey, did I miss anything? Everything looks good, So I start doing that. I start doing this later in my career, and it worked out great because, it's almost like, you're not alone, and other people actually, help you come up with a better procedure, and it's good for you and good for the company. So I think I'm going to put those tips, put an end to this right now. Please, if you have any questions at all about your job, you might be beginning a new job, or you can be there for a long time, especially with how managing other people, how to manage manager have to be managed as well, through communication and sharing information. All of that, it can be a little tricky, depend on personality of your manager. You have to know what your manager preference like, in terms of he want things done fast, and is he very active? He might come out very strong to you and all of that. So what he like, what he doesn't like, a lot of time it has to do with communication. How you communicate, how often do you communicate, what media you use to communicate. You can use email, Zoom, whatnot. These days, especially a lot of people work from home, you still can maintain good communication with your boss. Okay, and that's crucial because your boss is pretty much like number one. You don't want to make any problem, create any problem with your boss, because that's your front line. You want his support. So better communication with your boss, having good process, having regular communication of any update or issue are very crucial with your boss or even your team members. So hope it helps. We'll talk to you folks later, and happy holidays. If you like my video, please click like and subscribe. And I love to hear comments about work related issues and managing people and all of that. I used to be a manager for a little bit too, so I over 30-40 years or 50 years, so I have a lot of experience that from my side that I can share. There's some other areas with working with other people that because people come with different quality. Some of them good, some of them not so good. How do you deal with them and all of that? You have to be creative in dealing with them. Alrighty, see you folks on the next video.